Hello, viewers. Welcome to Soul Journey. We are discussing about the book Life and Multiverse by Bapuji Dashrath Bhai Patel. And we just completed chapter 7. But I just thought before hopping on to chapter 8, I would like to share a little more about the creation of our planet Earth. So to begin with, like we discussed something in chapter 7 about the creation of the solar system, the Brahmand, and how does it all happen? How does it begin? It begins from the pure consciousness that is formless. And then with that pure consciousness, there is a sankalp or an intention to create. And following that, it creates or further lets out an energy form or lets out another creation. And this is how it has multiplied again and again and again. So creation of the Brahmand, the solar system and Earth. What is happening here is understanding Earth's creation. First of all, it requires knowledge of the timeline of the Brahmand, that is the solar system. And as we discussed earlier as well, previous chapters, we have touched base on this, that scriptures have mentioned that Brahma's age is divided into cycles. So one cycle of Brahma consists of 100 divine years. And these split into two halves of 50 years each are known as the parads. Currently, we are in the second parad, within the 7th Manvantara, specifically in the 28th Dwapar Yuga. The periods of cycles of Earth have been discussed even in the previous chapter. So scriptures describe that Shiva in his formless aspect, in the formless aspect or in a pure consciousness form, that is a nirakar form or the formless aspect of creation, initiated the creation of the entire Brahmand or the solar system. Using his supreme power, Shiva created Brahma, who then generated, again, all this is happening with an intention to create, with the thought, and created Vishnu. And with Vishnu, in turn, created Lakshmi and other celestial beings. Together, there were divine forces that shaped the elements of the Brahman or the solar system and laid the foundation for the Earth's formation. But as and when the creation was happening, they lose power also. And, when they are in the Nirakar or the formless aspect, they have far more power. But when they start creating, they lose, the power declines over the period of time. The celestial power declines over a period of time. And with it, the quality, the aspect of the form also changes because it is gaining more impurities in it. So eventually when it is in the purest form, the elements are very divine, very pure. But when they start creating the elements, the quality of the elements decline. The 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, came into being over time, and their gradual interplay led to the creation of earth. So from that Nirakar form and coming to a subtle form of 3 elements, and then coming to the 5 elemental form, and still further deteriorating, created the earth. So as and when they created many celestial bodies, they were created, and their powers declined, but then they created earth, and eventually their power had declined to quite an extent. Initially, earth was static, and there was no concept of day and night. It was all bright, because when the earth was created at that time, the celestial powers or the beings still had a lot of power. Whatever they created was still divine. But over the period of time, with thoughts and intentions and further creating uh, new things on planet Earth, their power further declined. And so eventually the sun was formed to bring light on Earth. There is again, there are stories, and there are stories of creation. I will not go into detail, but definitely read the book Life in Multiverse and see some videos of Bapuji Dashrath Bhai Patel. They are very explicit about what has actually happened. And Bapuji has explained all this through his divine vision and insight. So he has explained with his presence, this is how I can best explain it. And now with the creation of the sun, it marks the beginning of cycles like day, night, and seasons. And let's talk about the scientific versus spiritual perspectives. From a scientific standpoint, life on Earth began with simple organisms like viruses and bacteria in oceans. These evolved over millions of years. However, spiritually, life is actually attributed to the will or the thought of the Supreme Being, who infused divine energy into elements to create living beings. And humans initially embodied divine qualities and higher consciousness. Over time, as pride and ego emerged, these are all aspects of, these are aspects that have been created through thought and intention. So this is ego and pride. As and when it emerged, there's a decline in the quality of divinity of consciousness. Their spiritual strength diminished, leading to their descent into physical forms. Animals too were created to coexist with humans. And Earth was formed to provide a place for souls to dwell, evolve, and fulfill their karmic journeys. So I will repeat here, Earth was formed to provide a space for souls to dwell, to live in, to evolve, further evolve, because they had already fallen in their powers. So they needed to again remember and evolve and fulfill their karmic journeys. Karmic journeys were created because of their intention and thoughts. Over ages, various divine beings, sages, and spiritual teachers have guided humanity towards higher knowledge and self-realization. One can conclude with the thought, with something like, the Brahmand, the solar system with its vastness, is but a small part of the Supreme Being's creation. It is still very small, much smaller than fraction. Understanding Earth's creation requires reconciling scientific findings with spiritual insights. And ancient scriptures provide a deeper spiritual understanding of how and why the Earth and life came into existence. So to understand it further, the creation of the Brahmand or the solar system began with the foundational decision. There was an intention or a sankalp And initially a divine entity referred to as the Supreme Creator. Supreme Creator, the Paramatma. From within its infinite potential, the energy of Shiva-Shakti, the combined masculine and the feminine, created a very powerful force from within. And this power emerged. The force manifested as Ardh Narishwara. This is a composite form of Shiva and Shakti, which then created, it created multiple thoughts. It created multiple thoughts, and Vishnu, through divine intention, was created. From Vishnu came Lakshmi, symbolizing prosperity and balance. From Vishnu's navel, likewise, again with the power of thought and intentions, emerged Brahma, who undertook the task of creation. Brahma, with the guidance of supreme energy, created Sapta Rishis, or the seven sages, who embodied the purest elements of Brahmand, that is the solar system. And they were radiating with supreme Param light. These sages were tasked with organizing creation in its early stages. During their immense wisdom and connection to the divine, to the Supreme Creator. At that time, Earth did not yet exist in its current form. It was created later as a place for souls to dwell and evolve. The need for Earth arose when there was no suitable place for these souls who were descending from higher realms. They descended in multiple forms and thousands, billions of them, they just came down. They kept on creating, and they were coming down, and there was no place to hold them. There was no place to contain them. So Earth was created. And as their spiritual power waned, so because of the decline of the spiritual power, they needed a physical domain to continue their journey. The formation of Earth involved a gradual condensation of subtle elements into grosser forms. The five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. All these began to form. First came light, then the clouds, eventually soil and water. Over many cycles, elements combined to form a stable planet. The need for creation also arose to house beings who had fallen from higher realms due to decline in their purity or spiritual power. These beings required a structured space to regain their balance. Earth became the physical plane where such souls could continue their evolution. So this is about the creation of Earth and life within it, and they together are deeply intertwined with divine intention. The sages, Sapta Rishis, and celestial beings have worked together under the guidance of Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu to develop Earth into a space where physical and spiritual dimensions coexist. We have already spoken about the 14 lokas. And so, in conclusion, the scriptures emphasize that Earth's creation was not accidental, but purposeful. It serves as a domain for souls to evolve, learn, and strive toward their self-realization. Even though originally the souls are highly divine, they are very, very powerful, but they're forgotten during this period of decline. They've forgotten their own power. They have forgotten themselves. So Earth serves that purpose for them to have an opportunity to work on themselves and meditate, change through their work, living, actions, karma. They must change. They must think, reflect, change, and recognize their true nature, their original self. It does involve a lot of work on self, including deep meditative practices, study, and this is where Behad Gyan comes into play. Behad Gyan is very, very crucial it has Bapuji, Dashrath Bhai Patel has provided his deep insight and wisdom for all of humanity to look into it, to study it, and to realize what actually happened. And this enables, deeper meditation, deeper understanding of self. So I hope we all can learn from this and work on ourselves. So the process of creation is cyclical, with periods of creation, sustenance, and dissolution, all governed by the supreme cosmic order. So this was about the creation of the earth, and I look forward to meeting you in chapter 8. And let's enjoy the journey. And I really encourage everyone watching this to please read the book Life in Multiverse to gain a deeper knowledge. It has many diagrams, drawings, certain more detailed information is provided. The entire book cannot be read on, I am not able to provide explanation with readings. So it is better to look at what you're reading and look at the drawings. They are more visual. So thank you, everyone. And if you have liked my videos before, please do like and subscribe to our channel, Soul Journey. Thank you.